Okay. Welcome back to the Mike Check Show. Today we joined by former NFL wide receiver, a five-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, and one of the most consistent playmakers of his era. Am I right?
Well, I tried to be.
We'll kick things off with some rapid fire questions and some deep dive into his career mindset and life beyond football. Please welcome y'all, Jimmy Smith. What's going on, man? What's going on, Jimmy?
Thanks for having me on the show.
I appreciate you taking time off your day and to join the Mike Check Show, man. I have a huge fan base. Um,
Good.
yeah,
I was going to ask you that.
get a lot of views. Again, as I said a few minutes ago, I was a music producer, and because of that, I gained a lot of followers, and now I'm doing this, podcasting. But
That's awesome.
I want to start off like this, Jimmy. Right? Who was your who's your favorite quarterback you ever played with?
That's easy. It's Mark Brunell.
Yes,
When Mark
sir.
Brunell was signed as a free agent in '95, he didn't start right off. Steve Berline was our starting quarterback, and just over a period of the first half of the season, uh, Mark Brunell began to gain ground on Steve Berline, and fortunately, even with that left-handed throw, we were able to grow together
Oh yeah.
uh, as a quarterback receiver combo. Um, because I wasn't a starter in '95, and Mark Brunell wasn't a starter in '95, so we got a lot of the second team reps. So we grew that relationship early. And when Mark hit the starting lineup, I hit the starting lineup with 5 games to go that season, and I finished with 22 catches, 5 touchdowns, leading into the next season, which was '96.
Yeah, you froze, brother. Okay, there you go. You back now. Toughest cornerback you ever faced.
Toughest cornerback. Um, there are a couple. Uh, the first guy that sticks out in my mind is Adam Pac-Man Jones. I knew when Tennessee drafted him that year high. I knew that Jeff Fisher was drafting him to for me in our division, but specifically for me. And I remember his rookie year. He followed me. I believe he followed me. He was matched up on me, but we had a knockdown, drag out 4 quarters. I mean, we fought in the midst of route running and in the midst of him covering me. We were fighting,
Yeah,
throwing,
yeah. I remember that.
throwing, throwing karate chops to the throat, to punching him up under the ribs. And it was like that for 4 quarters. And I'm telling
Yeah.
you, he didn't back down the entire game. I remember he got a flag going against me. I ran a curl route and we were battling and fighting. And he was karate chopping me to the throat and I was punching him in the gut. And the ref called a pass interference. And he came back to the line the next play, press, and he said, I was made for this. I was made for this. So I knew right then it was going to be some tough battles between he and I in the years to come.
You know, I think I might know the answer to this one, but what is the best route in your arsenal?
Uh, the best route I loved, well, my favorite was it was the entire play was called X read, which I was the X receiver, and the read gave me the option of running a speed out, or if the corner was off, I ran the speed out every time. But if he was within 7 yards, or if he was pressed, that out route converted to a go route. And if the
Gotcha.
safety wasn't on the hash, if the safety was on the other side of the field or in the middle of the field, that was going to be a touchdown. I just had a supreme talent uh, as far as getting behind the defensive back and stacking them and allowing the quarterback room to fit the ball in bounds. So I would say it would be uh, that X read, which is an option route of the speed out and the go route.
You was smoking all of them.
Yeah, yeah. I got a. It was a way I.
Nobody was guarding you, Jimmy.
Well, it was the way I wasn't world class speed. Now it appeared that I was world class speed, but it was all about leverage. I'm a big, strong, fast guy, but not world class speed. I was fast enough to get to the ball. I knew where the ball was coming down, where the ball was going to be coming down at. We practiced the go route or the fade route. The go route, that ball came down between 34, 36, maybe 37 yards downfield, but 4 yards away from the sideline.
Yeah.
So when I came to the line of scrimmage, whether it was press or not, I knew I would look down the field. Okay, that's the spot where the ball's coming. So that would allow me to play with the defensive back and do whatever I could within those last 5 steps of reaching that spot to get to the ball.
That's right.
It appeared like I was running fast or running by the guy. I really wasn't. It was just straight leverage.
Yeah, you just knew what to do. You know where the ball was at. You know where the ball was going. Yep.
Yep. Yes. Yes. So that was my forte.
Now, this is the last one, right? When it comes to rapid fire, who is the best trash talker?
The best trash talker. I didn't really have a lot of guys talking trash to me. I didn't talk trash. I didn't even speak to the game because I was so focused on my craft. But there were several guys. I can't even say it was Pac-Man Jones. I really couldn't tell you who the trash
Pac-Man talk a lot of crap though.
Who's that?
Pac-Man really did talk a lot of crap.
Yeah, that's just his personality, But
yeah, it felt like he tried to get you, like he tried to get you under your skin, like he, you know what I mean, like that's what I noticed.
Well, if he was getting beat, and I know we're talking about Pac-Man Jones a lot because he sticks out clearly in my mind as one of the toughest DBs that I had to face.
I had Eric Warfield, and he said you were the toughest.
Yeah, Eric on, that's my friend. And Eric,
he said you was the toughest.
Man, Eric's my friend, man. He's in Dallas, always trying to get me to go golfing with him. I'm going to have to take him up on that one day. But Eric's my boy, man. And I remember facing Eric. And Eric had a teammate play wide receiver. I think his name was Patrick Johnson. I think they played in college. Patrick Johnson was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. And he signed with us shortly after that. And Patrick Johnson and Eric Warfield were friends, and Patrick used to come and tell me all through practice, man, Eric is concerned about you. He's like, you always look like you were mad at him. And, I played with my eyebrows down. I was all about business out there. I ain't have time to talk to you because I was busy trying to compete with Keenan on the other side for catches.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
Let me tell you something about me and Keenan. I know this may be jumping ahead, but me and Keenan, we didn't worry about the defense. We wasn't, that was the last thing on our mind. We wasn't competing against the defense. Me and Keenan competed against each other for catches.
That's crazy.
So the defense really didn't even matter no matter who we played, whether it was prime time, I remember us playing against Dallas against prime time, and I was starstruck by going against prime time, just watching them come up, line up against me. And that kind of took me out of the game because I was so enamored by, man, this is Deion Primetime Sanders. But lo and behold, when Keenan lined up I caught 2 passes on Deion that game. But when Keenan lined up on Deion, Keenan had 7 catches, 147 yards against Primetime. So it wasn't about the defense. It was about the competition between me and my fellow mate, Keenan McCardell.
Do you still watch the game now, the sport now?
Oh yeah. I'm all in it. I'm all in it.
So who you got taking it all this year?
Kansas City.
Give me a good one, Jimmy. Give me a good one.
Kansas City, they had their problems with everybody back now. You really got to give them the nod, regardless of their record right now. But right now, they are hot, and it's halfway through the season. And you don't want the Kansas City Chiefs to get hot at this point in time in the season.
That's right.
They won't cool off. They won't cool off until the Super Bowl. Okay, the Eagles are consistently winning. So I'm looking at another Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl with the Chiefs winning it all.
I want to ask you this, right? And this will probably be, so I had I had a ball player, DeMar Johnson. I don't know if you know who that is. He played for the Knicks, Houston. Um,
Hmm.
and finding out about so I'm Hispanic, right? But I've always considered myself black because I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the hood, Jimmy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I grew up in the hood. I'm from New York, so
yeah,
I grew up out of projects. You know what I mean.
yeah,
You know, um, so I consider myself black. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But I do want to
yeah.
ask you this, right?
Okay.
I want to ask you this. I want to ask you, how do you feel about how do you feel about a Hispanic uh doing a halftime, doing a halftime show in the Super Bowl? How do you feel about that, Jimmy?
Okay. Repeat that. You froze up on me.
Yeah, yeah. How do you feel about a Hispanic doing the Super Bowl, like doing a halftime show? How do you feel about that?
I have no problem with it. It's entertainment.
I like
I
that.
don't see why people are all up in roar about it. It's entertainment.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, sure, just sit back, enjoy the Super Bowl, enjoy the halftime show, regardless of who's performing.
I see it this way, right? And I'm not biased, right? Because I'm Hispanic, but I'm not biased. Like I said again, I consider myself more black than Hispanic. My wife would tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
My wife would be like, "Yo, this dude Mike is," but
yeah,
what I do want to say about that is this: a lot of people don't see it the way you see it, but here's the thing: he's gonna bring more eyes to the sport.
yeah. A lot of eyes because
You know what I'm
he's hot.
saying, Jimmy? So
And that's
he's
what it's all about.
yeah,
Regardless of race or color, whatever, it's about the dollar signs.
that's right.
And he's got a tremendous following. So it makes sense dollar wise, regardless of what people feel or think about that particular audience. It just makes more financial sense in the overall scheme of things.
Yeah, yeah. Football is gonna grow, right? And
Yeah.
and and that leads to this question, right? How do you feel about the players now? How do you feel about what they getting now, like today, modern day, like a 4-year contract, 250 million? Let's just say.
Woo.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I guess the
Are
same
you happy
question.
for the guys?
I'm jealous of the guys.
No, come on,
I'm
Jimmy.
jealous.
You know why? You
Hey,
know why? Honestly, you
yeah,
paved the way, Jimmy.
right, right, right. So
You,
where's my
you, you
check?
the legend.
Yeah, so that's why I'm be like, boy, I wish I had a check coming, you know. But yeah, I'm happy. But you actually asked that question 30 years ago when I was getting my multi-million dollar contracts. I'm sure there were guys before me who
Right,
paved the way
right.
who wasn't getting the dollars that I was getting. So it's always going to be like that.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. You know, all these artists is, I mean, yeah, entertainers, artists, and even pro athletes that I speak to, their number one concern is the financial, right? Um, for the most part, can you hear me, Jimmy?
I think you froze on me again.
Yeah, I said a lot of pro athletes that I speak to, um, their main concern is the financial, like going broke after the sport, after their career.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
do you have any word of knowledge or any wisdom
Advice.
advice
Yeah,
that you can give, these current
yeah.
players?
Chris Carter. I heard Chris Carter say this one time early in my career. Chris Carter said, "Play as long as you can and save as much money as you can."
Yeah,
Because your football life is short comparison to your natural life.
absolutely.
So if you don't have another investment or other streams of income coming in, you better save every penny you got. Because when those, I was making almost $400,000 a week. It seemed like when I was getting those checks, that's after taxes.
Wow, I know,
But
I know.
it seemed like when I was getting those checks, I would think to myself, man, I'm never gonna run out of money. But after a divorce and then after some legal problems,
Yeah, yeah,
then real life starts to hit you in the face. Thank goodness I made some huge land acreage investments and bought some property here in Mississippi. That's why I'm here now, looking over my ranch. Man, if I didn't have that, I'd be in trouble.
am
And
I
I
invited,
made
Jimmy?
what's that?
Am I invited?
Oh, anytime you want to. I know you're from up north, but you can come on down here and get some of this good country cooking and
see,
some fishing and some
see,
deer hunting.
I want
You,
to see. I'm asking this question. This is a personal question for me, right? Because
yeah,
I'm I retired 7 years ago.
awesome.
I was able to retire my wife 7 years ago as well.
That's
Um,
awesome. As far as family,
yes,
if you don't manage that properly, you, you're going to be in trouble. Because I know several athletes that were taking care of their close family members over and beyond. And when that money begins to run dry, you can't turn to that particular fan member and get that money back. Chances are, I didn't. So you got to learn, and it's hard to maybe even your mother, father, brother, sister. I mean, let's just say your mother and father, you know, who brought you on this earth. You know, the hardest thing for me was, kind of slowing them down a little bit because I started off, I handed my dad a checkbook to my account. Well, when you hand somebody a blank checkbook,
yeah,
entire checkbook, well, you can look back on it and be like, "Whoo, Dad, I didn't know you were spending that much." I
that's
know
right.
we invested in some dump trucks, and I know that we invested in some cattle, but I didn't fast forward the tape and realize how much it was going to cost to maintain those dump trucks that were breaking down all the time. The cattle that needed to be managed and fed. Uh, so expenses begin to get out of hand, and sometimes you have to, like we had to delete the trucks. We had to get rid of the trucking business because it wasn't financially smart at the time to be running that trucking business. So we put that aside and began to cut some of those expenses that were probably, by this time would have eaten everything up in the accounts.
Wow.
So that was a hard thing for me, hard discussion for me to have with my dad on shit. We got to cut all the way back, Dad. I know you hate to see your trucks go, but one of them's got to go, either the cattle or the trucks. So he was being stressed out and frustrated with the trucking business more than he was the cattle business. So fortunately, he agreed. Okay, son, we're gonna let this go. Put this money back into the investments or the accounts and save it. So those are some things you got to watch out for. See, when you playing and them checks coming in every single Tuesday, before I can get one deposited or whatever, here's another one in my locker. So it can fool you, and that's a lot of money. It's overwhelming from a guy, you know, raised in Jackson, Mississippi. I wasn't poor. My mom was a superintendent, and my dad owned a RC Cola distributorship. So we were okay, but I still grew up kind of on the fringes of the hood. So I didn't
Yeah,
have,
yeah. Come on, Jimmy.
you know,
Jackson is
whew,
not soft at all. Nothing to play
nah,
with. Nothing to play
no,
with.
you don't make it out of here. I mean, the chances are you don't make it out. So uh, I was fortunate and blessed, man, truly blessed to have the opportunity to get drafted by the Dallas Cowboys and get out of here. And once you do, that's a whole new ball game, my friend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I thank you for that. Yeah, because yeah, if a family member for some reason feel entitled to whatever you
Yeah,
got, whatever you own.
yeah.
Um, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's hard to say no, but again, like
You
exactly
got
what
to.
you said. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
You
right.
got to, because it'll come a day where you look at that bank account and be like, boy, I ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
something's gotta
yeah.
go. And it's scary. It's scary. And you look back on, man, I made all these millions of dollars. Where did it go? Okay, half of it went to the divorce. The other went to legal problems. And then I got these investments. I'm taking care of my parents. I got to put my foot down, or we all going to be in trouble. Yeah.
um, you have seasons, right, of huge consistency.
Yes.
What routines, physical, mental, or even habits kept you at that level year after year?
Now, that's a good question, Mike. And this is something that all athletes need to hear right now. Well, I had to learn over a period of 12, 13 years. and I put a lot of sweat equity into this. Is taking care of your body. You hear about LeBron spending millions of dollars on his recovery, and you got to do that. You
Yeah.
have to spend money, and a lot of people don't. A lot of guys don't take that into account. A lot of guys don't even know what know about recovery. They think, okay, I'll just go drink some Gatorade and a couple of electrolytes, and I'll be good. No, that's not the case. When you're on that football field and you're so dynamic, you got to be able to have a decompression recovery time, and that decompression and recovery time costs money. Massage therapist. I had a home care nurse. This is the real kicker, man. I had a home care nurse
Wow.
come by my house twice a week during the season. Okay, we played on Sunday. She would come by on Monday morning because we were off Monday morning. Had to go in from watch film late, like 10 o'clock. So she would come at 8. I would get an IV, and that would replenish everything for the day before, in which I lost a lot by being fatigued. Okay, I would go through the week of practice, and that's fatigue. They're just going through the week of practice because we practice hard, and so I would have her come back uh, that Saturday before the next game and get another IV. And that right there, along with supplements, along with the massage therapist, along with the chiropractor, all these things cost money. Uh, in order for my body, especially as I was getting older, to recover faster than everybody out there. That was my job, not to, I mean, I was going to catch my balls and I was going to produce, but I also had a system in which I recovered faster than everybody on that field. There would be a lot of older vets. They would practice 2 or 3 days, and then they would be forced to have to take a practice off or miss a game.
Yep.
Not me. I was ready because I was getting that recovery and home care nurse, the whole nine, at home when nobody was watching.
How much something like that cost?
Each home care visit back then was about $94 to $100 for
Okay.
the IVs and the syringes and stuff, and then I'll pay her $50 for her time to come by and do it.
It adds
Uh,
up though.
it starts adding up.
Yeah, yeah,
Not that
yeah.
much, but it's some costs that you don't account for because a lot of these guys today, they're not doing it. The
Nah.
only guy I know that's doing that is Christian McCaffrey, and that's a tribute to his dad, Ed McCaffrey, on what he was doing. He was doing similar things to what I was doing. And I found out at the Pro Bowl when we were going to the Pro Bowl. I'm like, "You taking IVs too?" They're like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You taking IVs? Like, where'd you find out?" So it was kind of like a secret. I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want guys to catch up. But even telling guys, it still doesn't click in their head, especially young guys, to recover. You got to recover. The sooner you get into recovery and recovery in the NFL or whatever the sport, your career would take off, and you'll have a long career because you're
Right,
taking care of
right.
your body.
So
And
so so it seemed
these guys today are not taking advantage. They're not doing the research, and they're not taking advantage of that.
and
And
they
I
getting
see
a
that.
lot of money for them to say, "Oh, it's expensive." You getting a lot of
Yes,
money.
they're getting bukus of money, but they just don't know. A lot
Yeah.
of them, they just don't take time to do the research. Some of them may.
I guess they feel like they're young and they can recoup the next day or for the
And I
next
was like
game.
that.
Yeah.
I was like that myself, until I couldn't do that anymore. Then I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to do something, in order to compete on the same level. So those were the things that I was doing when nobody's watching.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It must have McCaffrey probably passed it along to his
Yeah,
son
his
and he
son.
picked it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard on one of the TV broadcasts that his son was doing that, and so it made sense because I remember having that conversation with Ed McCaffrey from the Broncos back in our days when we were playing.
Did you have any superstitions or rituals in clutch moments or even before the game?
Yeah, I had my pregame ritual where I ate the same thing and kind of drove the same way to the stadium, stuff like that. Uh, how I wore my
Did you wear your
uniform.
sneakers a certain way, your cleats or
Yeah, little stuff like that. How I dress, what type of socks, what type of, the trainer. I mean, our equipment guy had it down to a T. All I do, you know, so he learned me, I learned him. He knew exactly, and he did this with the entire locker room. He knew how guys wanted their stuff, and if something was off, then their game was going to be off. So he had a tough job, our equipment manager, in customizing a protocol for each and every player in their locker room so they can perform to their highest ability.
What role did you play in the locker room, Jimmy? I felt like you was like a vocal leader.
No, I was a quiet leader. You know, we had
Really?
well,
Damn.
we had more vocal leaders than anything. Uh, and I've never been a vocal guy. I've never been a rah rah guy. You know, I was a guy who shut my mouth and came and I led by example. Ain't
Ooh.
nothing to talk about. You go out there and do it. That's why I was there, and that's what they were paying me for. They don't pay guys for rah rah, even though some guys need the rah rah in order to motivate themselves in order to play, and that's good in a locker room. That's good to have in a locker room,
Right,
but it
right.
can sometimes it can fall on deaf ears. So you got to be a special kind of raw guy.
I
You know what
like
I'm
that.
saying? It'll fall on deaf ears for somebody. Okay, that's him. He's doing the same thing he did last week. You know, so it depends on what kind of guy you got and what you're bringing to the table. But I was a type of guy like Deion Sanders said when he was describing me. He was like Jimmy Smith doesn't need to be a rah rah guy. He doesn't need to talk trash because his game is so loud. My game was so loud, I didn't have to say anything.
Ooh. And I agree. I agree. Listen, I may look calm, but I'm not. You know what I mean? Right now,
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, I'm really talking to Jimmy Smith. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
I
sir.
and I've had a lot of players, a lot of pro athletes on my joint, but
Yeah.
for some
No,
reason, this
I'm
one
gonna give it to
special,
you. I'm gonna give
man.
you some real. I'm gonna give you a real interview. I'm gonna give you some real stuff, bro.
This is why, like, man, I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped.
Good.
I can't believe I'm on the phone, man. I looked up to you. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you, bro.
You was definitely one of my idols. 1000%. Now, of
Thank
course,
you.
3 years ago I gave my life to Jesus Christ, so that's my idol
Good.
now. You know what I'm
Good.
saying? But
Your
you was
life
one
is
of them,
good.
though.
I see. Your
Oh
life
yeah,
is good. Yeah.
oh yeah, oh
I can
yeah.
tell. I can tell by your setup. The background is lively, is energetic. It's passing a lot of good energy through the Zoom call to me, so I can detect the energy. So it's all good, bro.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I appreciate you. What if you could go back and tell your rookie self three things, what would they be and why?
The first thing would be uh, better have my ass in shape.
Mm.
Better learn that playbook, and you better have a relationship. Like you just said, you gave yourself over to God. You better have a relationship with a higher power. You got to have some type of spiritual mentality along with all of that because if that's missing, then none of that's going to work. So it's all about balance.
I love that, man. Wow. You gotta clap for that because that's man.
Yep.
It's see for me, and I'm gonna be honest, right? I was a gangbanger for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now my big homie is Jesus Christ, right?
Good.
And I see it this way now. For me now, God is first, God is second, and then my family's third.
Yeah.
You know, and it took me a while to even believe that. You know what I mean? Because again, I was out on the streets.
Yeah.
I was being stupidity, right?
Yeah.
So it took me a while to realize that. But now that I'm in tune with the higher power, man,
Yeah.
life is so great, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
What?
saying? Like beautiful, man. Like I have two beautiful kids. I remember I'm gonna share something real fast. I remember when I was 13 years old, I go get a physical done. And I've always wanted to play football, basketball, especially basketball, but my grades, I couldn't, you know what I mean? I couldn't play varsity because I was just doing stupid stuff. But I go to the doctor and he does a physical and he's like, hey, he's like, yo, I want to check your sperm count. And I said, all right, cool, no doubt. I mean, it's the first time I said, all right, let's do it. He
Mm-hmm.
comes back and he's like, hey, he said the normal count, and I'm just throwing a number out there because I can't remember, but just an example. He said the normal count is 2 million, right? That's what he said. He said, uh, what he said? Can you hear me, Jimmy?
Yeah, I hear you now.
He said the normal count, the normal sperm count is 2 million.
Okay.
When he came back, he said, look, Mike, look at your sperm count. I was at 1,500.
Okay.
So I say that to say this. This is exactly what he said. He said, Mike, you won't be able to have kids. Fast forward 2020, October 8th, 2020, my son was born.
That's awesome. It's a blessing, bro. You
Come
love him to
on,
death,
Jimmy.
don't you? You love him to death,
Listen,
don't you?
I love him. Oh man, Jimmy,
Yeah.
man. Like, and only if they knew that I'm talking to Jimmy right now. He's
Yes.
only 5 years old. Only if he knew that you was my idol back then, man. This is
Yeah.
crazy. I have two more questions, Jimmy, because I know you got to go, right? If you had one message for the world today, what would it be?
One message for the world today. Uh, Probably two things. All right. Stay in tune with your higher power
Let's go.
and be disciplined.
Overall.
Overall, discipline in your day-to-day activities. Be disciplined with uh, if you meditate like I do. I have to meditate. I had drug problems uh, when I was doing the tail end of my career because I was trying uh, to be that dynamic on the football field. You got to decompress some kind of way
Right.
uh, because I had cravings for it, and when I had those cravings, I took care of those cravings by using marijuana and cocaine. I don't have those cravings no more today. And thank God because I would be broke and probably homeless.
That was him.
Yeah, that was him. So I had to go through that humiliation, embarrassment, hiding, lying, being stressed out because of what I was doing, because of what I thought my body needed to be
Right.
decompressed after being so dynamic on Sundays, you know? So I would say having that connection with a higher power, whether it's meditation or not, and being disciplined day in and day out. And one attachment I can add to that is repeat affirmations. Like when I had problems dropping the football or anything that I had problems doing. Let's just say I was experiencing drops. Well, I would tell myself, I catch everything. I catch everything. All day, all night. Wake up in the morning, brush my teeth. I catch everything. I catch everything. Lunch, I catch everything. I'm going to bed after I say my prayers. I catch everything. I catch everything. Next thing you know, I start catching everything.
And because of those affirmations, you are the
Yes.
legend that you are now, Jimmy.
Yes. Yes.
You are
So,
who you are now because of
and
those
I'm thinking
affirmations.
like this is some priceless, valuable information that can be passed on to the next player who's struggling because
Absolutely.
all of them struggling with something. They're human beings, and they're trying to manage their lives. A lot of them have difficulty managing their lives, not just at the stadium, where it's, you got that routine of meetings at 8 and walk through at 9 and all that kind of stuff. That's a good thing because it keeps you in structure.
Right.
But if you can carry on that structure to home and be disciplined about it, combined with having a higher power, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can't do.
Now, this is the last one, right? Because I was gonna cut it there, but since you mentioned a higher power, and this is for the viewers, for the youth, for anyone that's having a troubled lifestyle, even players, right? To players from family members, whoever. Who is God to you?
Everybody does. Uh, that's a good question. I don't know how to. answer that, but he's my higher power. He's my spiritual connection. Uh, when I pray, I don't know if it's praying or not, but it's just a short conversation with God. That's my prayer. That's my friend. It's been me and him all them big time games, Monday nights, and record setting performance against the Baltimore Ravens defense. All of those has been me and God. Yeah, before the game, I'm in that locker praying. Halftime, I'm giving them thanks for the half I had, and asking him for strength and guidance, and to keep me healthy in the second half. That was consistent. That was
Absolutely.
consistent. And dude, I used to hear like my parents, well, my mom, well, you gotta pray. Well, you gotta pray. It goes in one ear and it goes out the other when you're young.
Absolutely.
As I got older and matured, I began to see what my mom had been preaching me, what I had been hearing. You got to pray to God. Well, that ain't gonna help my problems. That's how I was back then. Um, but when you relieve yourself of certain problems and leave it in God's hand, it always seemed to work out. Just like I was told when I was a kid, it was going in one ear and out the other. I was like, yeah, right. Just pray. Okay, I'll get what I want, or I wouldn't have to deal with this certain. God puts you through certain things for the betterment of it. It
To
was a
make you
reason why
stronger.
I had got caught. It was a reason why I had got caught going 165 miles an hour in a 35 miles speed zone with liquor and drugs in the car. Because if I hadn't gotten stopped then, I probably would have killed somebody and been just like drugs and sitting in jail.
Or possibly
Well, he's
killed
out.
yourself, Jimmy.
Kill myself.
Yeah. So I say that to say this: God had a different purpose for you. He had a different purpose for you,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I thank him for that. And I thank you, Jimmy. I'm gonna shoot you my number. I think I have your number. Is that your
Yes.
number? Okay,
That's my number.
perfect, Jimmy. I thank you
Call
so
me
much.
anytime, bro. You want to talk? Call me
Absolutely, and,
anytime.
and
I'm available
likewise,
for you.
I thank you so much, man. I can't believe y'all. I'm talking
Okay.
to one of my idols, man. This is crazy, unbelievable. Jimmy laughing, but he know I'm saying the
Yeah.
truth. I said it a few times already. You know what I mean? Um, Jimmy, God bless
Yeah.
you. God bless you and your
Yeah. That
family.
that that, that makes my day. Yes. It makes my day to hear you say that, bro. And it makes me want to go out and do the same for others, help people, do stuff in the community. And man, this is.
Whenever you
Uh,
need my help, I'm there.
I got you. I
Call
got you.
me. Call me. I'll take a plane right now and go to Mississippi and we do a drive. We do a drive. We do 10 drives.
Right. Right. Right.
I want to leave you with this. I remember Jimmy, right? I remember my mom's couldn't take me out of McDonald's. She only could take me once every 4 or 5 months. Now, guess
Mm.
what?
But
I can own 20 not the burger. I'm talking about the chain, the franchise. I can own 20 McDonald's today. How crazy is that? How crazy is that, Jimmy? How crazy is that, Jimmy?
man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And you
You
know what?
blessed.
And by the grace of God, I love football. I love basketball, but I didn't have to play none of that in order for me to acquire what I got. The reason why I acquired what I have now in my bank account is because of Jesus Christ. Jimmy? But thank you. I appreciate you. We love you, Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? We want to
Yeah.
see you out there. We want to see you alive, up and running. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And again, God bless you. We gonna talk later, champ.
Bless you too, man. Thanks for having me on.
Peace.